So after you install MyX, every time you save your scene, it is going to also generate a thumbnail for you. This works great with the content browser, but if for any reason you don't want to have that, you can go to MyX shelf and go to settings, and here you can disable auto capture scene thumbnail. And I recommend that you keep it on, as you are going to appreciate it in the content browser. Okay, so here on the top you have open import reference, and there is a F button at the end. This is going to be force. So if you select open, when you click, nothing is going to happen. If you double click, it is going to ask if you want to open it. If the force button is open, just as you single click on any of the files, it is going to run the operation for it. So it is going to open them now. I can set it to import, and now when I click, it is going to just import them. And this last one is for referencing. So if I click, it is going to reference those files in the scene. And as you can see here, we don't have any thumbnail for these scenes. There is an option for batch generating thumbnails for the scenes and textures. So if you right click, you have generate thumbnail. And with that, I can just select scene thumbnail and press capture thumbnails. And it didn't finish. So it goes through some of these files, as you can see here. Two of them didn't work because there was an error in those files. In this case, it is because of the file extension, and when you try to open them now, you can see that it is going to give me an error. If the file was my binary, it wouldn't give me this error. So let's say I want to convert all these files to my binary. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to import all of this. For that, I can just right click on an empty area, and at the end I have import all files in folder, and that is going to import all the files. Let me take this out of the group, and now if I want to export them back into different files, let's create a folder first. I can right click on an empty area, or I can right click on any of these files, and there's an option for show in Explorer, and that is going to open this directory. I can just create a folder, and here I can go to this folder, select all of these objects, right click, and there's an option for exporting to different files. And if I select them now, it is going to export all of those files to my binary. There is an option for exporting selected files as a single object as well. So if I have this selected, and here if I select all of them, and now if I export, it is going to export all of them in one file. And by default, it is going to name the file as the selected object. So here, let me generate thumbnail for these files. I can right click, generate thumbnail, select scene thumbnail, and capture. And now you can see that it created a thumbnail for all of these objects, but they are not really fit perfectly. So there is an option here which is auto fit to view. If I have this selected, now if I try to capture again, let me just go through, and it didn't work. That is because with the scene thumbnail, and also the same for texture thumbnails, it is not going to create a thumbnail for any file that already have a thumbnail created for them. This is very useful for large projects where you have a lot of files. You may just hit capture thumbnail. It may take a long time. Something may happen that you turn off the computer, or Maya just crashes or anything like that. The next time you try to capture a thumbnail, it is going to go from the continuum of the files and not going to start from the beginning. So here, if I want to recreate thumbnail, all I need to do is just select all the files, all the image files, and just remove them. And now with auto field enable, I can try again, and they look much better. And that is pretty much it with the Control browser. And lastly, there are some buttons like this one and this search area here that doesn't work at the moment. These are just placeholders for future updates, so just ignore them. And same for this button. The search will always search in the subdirectories, so don't try to use this one. And lastly, we have a button here which is going to show the files in this area as well. So if I disable it, it is going to just show folders. If I enable it, it is going to show the files as well. I hope you enjoyed this new update, and that is pretty much everything.